Well, let's talk about Marvel. Pretty amazing that no one was talking about this for the last several years. This is the first time we've heard about any problems at the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I was told when I make thumbnails like this, it's just racist and sexist and bigotry and things like that. But I guess when Variety does it, it's perfectly acceptable. Crisis at Marvel. Man, if only people had been talking about this for the last 2 or 3 years. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvels reshoots, reviving the original Avengers, and more issues revealed. This came out yesterday, and it was a bombshell, an absolute bombshell, a shot across the bow. And look at even Variety's Twitter header. They changed their Twitter header to "Is Marvel
Wow.
in trouble?" This is our cover story. Now, to be fair, they probably do this for all their like big
Yeah.
weekly cover stories because they
Mm.
said this was their cover story for the week, like for the magazine. But still, it's crazy to see the header for Variety, "Is Marvel in trouble?" They revealed a lot in this thing, a lot. It goes from mismanagement to problems with specific films to budgets that are out of control to visual effects problems to putting a lot of the responsibility on Kevin Feige for not planning some of this out to them pointing the finger back at Disney and things like that. But there's a couple specific issues that I really wanted to talk about. And we might as well start with what's going to be coming up in about a week, Jeremy, and that is the Marvels. This was one of the big reports that came out of this thing. The Marvels director, Nia DaCosta, reportedly left the film's production during post-production. Now, there's already been some kind of damage control out there from Nia DaCosta's side of camp. The Marvels director, Nia DaCosta, did not leave during post-production. But let's get into exactly what this article says. The Marvels, which opens in theaters November 10th, will struggle to get the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel's outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million and sees Brie Larson reprising her role, is tracking open $75 to $80 million. It's actually tracking
A lot
lower
lower
than
than that.
that.
Like, it's about 55 to 60 right now. It might be
Yeah,
even lower
it
than that.
will likely open lower than that, which might end up making it one of the worst entries ever in the MCU in terms of opening weekend. Directed by Nia DaCosta, the Marvels unites Larson's heroine with two superpowered allies, but instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this move resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. Then eyebrows were raised again when DaCosta began working on another film while the Marvels was still in post-production. The filmmaker moved to London earlier this year to begin prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama Hedda. A rep declined to comment. Quote, "If you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with a few months to go." Now, I don't think the implication is that she just left the project, right? I think the implication is that she started working on this other project while this was still not finished. That's what I believe the implication is meant to mean. But when you're a director that's not very fucking experienced, okay? The reason she got this is because she's the right type of hire for Marvel. That's why Nia DaCosta got this job.
Yep.
She'd done, I think, 2 movies before this. And you're given the reins to a $300 million movie. When you're an inexperienced director like that, the idea that you would split your attention while this disaster of a movie was still like heavily in editing and post-production, things like that, probably didn't rub people the right way. Just my guess.
Well, I think this is what happens when you hire people based on identity and not on qualifications. This person, you said they had two films prior to this.
Yeah,
Um,
like
y-
a small independent film, and then Candyman, which I think was like a $25 million kind of slasher horror movie for Universal, and then this movie.
when people actually go through the hard work and to earn getting opportunities, they're far more thankful for it when there's been a path of work ethic to back it up and you've earned that. When you're just handed something based on your identity because Marvel wants to virtue signal, this is the type of shit you get. Someone's handed a $250 million budget of a film within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the most celebrated universe in the history of movies, and you're walking away when it's in post-production to work on another project because you're not thankful for what you have because you didn't earn it. It was handed to you for diversity quotas. This is the problem with diversity quotas and agenda hiring and things like that. Again, I don't feel sorry for Marvel in this situation at all. You get what you deserve. I don't feel sorry for anything they're doing.
Well, and just a couple months ago, when she was giving interviews in the lead up to the Marvels and everything for promotion because they didn't have the actors, she took what some people perceive were kind of shots at Kevin Feige, like, it's a Kevin Feige production. You can put your imprint on a little bit away, but it's not really your movie. She said that she enjoys the opportunity, but she's done working with Marvel, wants to do her own thing now, all of this shit. There have been a lot of, I don't want to say allegations, but a lot of reports that say a lot of these directors have no control over what happens anyway. It is just entirely run by all the execs and the producers and things, and they just bring these directors in to be faces. So who knows what her being involved versus not being involved really mattered, or if they're trying to use her as a scapegoat. But one thing's for sure, all this drama is continuing to unfold. And also, in the middle of this article, we got word that, oh, by the way, the public test screenings they've done for the Marvels have not been very good. Contrary to some of the people out there that wanted to come out and say, there's been nothing wrong. I haven't heard anything bad about the Marvels. They did public reviews and people were not impressed by this thing. It's going to be a nightmare just with all the clips that we've seen released. It's been embarrassing that these are the things they're using to promote the movie. Remember that first teaser trailer? The most disliked trailer in the history of the MCU?
Yep.
Like that is the type of energy that people are bringing, and this movie is going to bomb. No doubt about it.